Now it starts. So, all right. We have a couple of new faces in the crowd. We won't haze you. Although, no, we did.
Yes, Patricia just paid her dues.
Yes.
And Rhonda paid her dues a while back, but because I did it through the sending it to the State Department, and then it went to, they sent it off to National, so they tell me it may be 2 weeks before you show up on a roster.
That's okay.
For you, you'll show up right away because I had to do a couple of them.
Manually?
Do a yes, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we know she belongs here anyway,
Yep.
so whatever. Has everybody had a chance to look over the minutes that Bob passed out? Any corrections or additions? If not, a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
And now I need a second.
I'll second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Ayes have it. Financial report.
Yes, so we didn't have an April report, so this is gonna be April and May's report. So beginning in April, our balance was $6,821.93, leaving $346 in the Jimmy Ross Fund, $70 in our emergency fund, $50 in our Never Forget Garden Fund, $350 in the Honor Guard Fund, and $87 not accounted for in the monthly balances for the food money.
Okay.
What was clear, we had an expensive month this month. We had check 1342 cleared for $609.65 back to David Freed for ordering the flags for Memorial Day. We had check 1344 to Jeff for $200 for coffee and supplies cleared. Check for 1345 for Buddy Hartland, the VFW guy that we paid $80 for the chips and stuff for our picnic.
Right.
And then April's City of Tennessee Ridge water bill for this building, $76.56, and $13.47 to the co-op for $869.22 for the other 800 flags that we ordered.
Okay.
So that leaves our ending May balance $4,992.13, with the $15,085 for the CD balance, and the same for the Jimmy Ross Fund, the Emergency Fund, and Never Forget Garden, and the $350 for the Honor Guard. So we went from $68.21 to $49.92 in the last 2 months.
What do you
Okay.
got for Jimmy Ross Fund?
Jimmy Ross Fund is $346.46. Emergency Fund is $70. Never Forget Garden is $50, and Honor Guard is $350, and then $87 for the food.
So how'd we get 50 for the Never Forget Garden?
It was donated by a check. Somebody donated it. I had to look back in the notes, and it was specifically for the Never Forget Garden. It was donated. Somebody donated. I think it was when one of the guys passed away. They donated it for it.
Well, that's nice.
But it was
Yeah,
I don't remember what month that was.
it's okay.
But that's the report for April and May.
All right. I'll stand a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Minutes are approved, financial report is approved. Committee report, Veterans Park, Herb, anything?
Yeah, we're working on finishing up the curbing, and it's hard to get anybody to do work nowadays.
It is.
A fellow named Nathan Rumfeld, who I've contacted twice, Teresa's contacted once. He poured Teresa's concrete in her new home, and I think we'll get to him, but I've got to go by and see him again.
Okay.
To get him to give us a price on doing the curbing. That's all we like is that curb.
And if you guys have not been up there to see the Never Forget, it is a thing of beauty, even without the curb.
Oh, did they take off?
They are pretty,
I
yeah.
heard it has been did.
Yeah, you did good, and that is such a pretty reflective spot. It's in between the dog tags and the pit for the flag retirement ceremony. and it really is a nice area. I'm hoping that they can, I'm hoping that the civilians and the populace make use of it. It's really a pretty sight to see.
Besides the curb, we also have that, we're price checking some of the plastic edging
Yeah,
to go
yeah, that's
around
right.
there.
Okay.
But since we're on that topic, we mentioned it last week, or last meeting that I wasn't at. We were out of pocket for about $515.76 for that.
Right.
And I've been reimbursed, I've been reimbursed a third from the VFW and from the VFW and the DAV. So it would be $171.92 for the Legion to reimburse me.
This is for the plastic.
This is for everything. This is for the
Oh, you
plat.
haven't been reimbursed at all by the?
No, out of the 515 for the total, I've been reimbursed by the DAV and the Legion, or the DAV and the VFW. I didn't have my checkbook last month, and I wasn't gonna write it myself. I was gonna let Glenn sign it, but you just need a motion to be able to repay me.
I'll make a motion that we repay
$171.92.
Mike $171.92. Second. And we still have to get a price on that plastic board,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we measured the,
We already got the measurements and everything like that, we're just trying to work in order to figure out where we can get the best price.
Okay.
we're gonna try a couple different sizes, but
That way it won't be a trip hazard. It'll hold everything in without tripping someone.
You know, I was thinking, and maybe I'm off, but if we put like a wooden fence as a backdrop to that garden, where it is now, you're watching people drive through and put money in the, Tennessee Ridge water bill and that sort of thing, and just a backdrop, I would think might be kind of a nice thing to do. Just a thought, just a plain wooden fence.
Okay, we'll come back to that. We have a motion and a second on the floor to repay Mike, the $171.92. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Okay.
Now, about the fence.
Well, the park committee would have to come up, it's just a thought I had, and I thought
Yeah.
I'd let you all think. of it.
No, and it's a great one. Also, and I've got around some crepe myrtles in the front yard. It's about 6 inches tall, and it's a little plastic, but it just bored, for lack of a better phrase, and it just spikes right in the ground. Just something to think about. I mean, they're inexpensive, but it's just something to think about.
Crepe myrtle is a tree, right?
Yeah,
That's the one that Webb Mitchell really liked, and that's what we have over there by
that is
his
correct.
fence.
That's correct.
You have some more of them, did you say? or-
No, I've got a couple of them in the front yard.
Oh, okay.
But around them, I've got that fencing. It looks like white picket fence, but it's
Okay.
about 6 inches tall.
Yeah.
And it just shoves right in the
Yeah.
ground on spikes, and it's pretty. But I got them at Lowe's. Okay. Anything else, Herb?
I've got something else for new business, if you'll remind me when we get there.
Okay. Honor Guard, Memorial Day. We had 78 people turn out at the courthouse for Memorial Day service. And that is larger than a lot of towns around us, not counting Dover, with the national park there, but Waverly only had 30. So I think we did a pretty good job.
Command Sergeant Major was all concerned at the SAR meeting that he didn't do the right thing. I said, you did perfect.
You did.
Just about long enough.
It was.
We
It
had
was.
preachers there that preach sermons, we don't go there to hear that.
No, we do not.
But-
And he was an excellent speaker.
Good job.
And I thought we got a attaboy from the 6th District on our Facebook page. So we're making a difference.
He
So
gave us something to hang up on the wall, and I gave it to Tim. He said he's gonna hang it up. Have y'all seen what I'm talking about?
I've seen it. I don't know where you put it.
Okay, well.
He probably has it in the office.
Yeah.
Probably.
With a pretty nice plaque.
But he wrote a poem when he was in Vietnam, and it's on a marble plaque in Kentucky now. There's a photograph of that poem that he gave us to hang
Yeah.
on the wall someplace. Get hold of it.
no, there it is. Isn't that up top?
Yeah,
Oh, that's it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's it, okay, good. Good deal.
Can't read it.
Yeah, it's a little out of sight,
Yeah,
your
we
line
don't
of
want-
sight, but
We need
you
to
know,
bring it down a little.
Well, he's got a lot of them up high, like these over here.
yeah.
Of course, there's bulletin boards.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
National Day of Prayer was fairly well attended. Again, we had you, myself, Charlie came down. I think it was 3 of us there. Present the flag for the National Day of Prayer, and so it went over quite well. Mayor Brake addressed the crowd, and then they went into the ceremony. But I thought it was well received, and yeah, we could have done better, but we did okay.
I thought you did a good job.
Huh?
I thought you did a good job. I thought Mayor Brake did a good job too.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want something to look nice and smart, don't have Bob Spencer leading the thing now.
Yeah, well, you know. Flags at local businesses.
Yeah, I don't, I put that in a committee report because I think it's kind of good, since that's kind of, we do it every couple of months, and I thought it would be good to hear from Jeffrey if there was any problems, if they had enough help, and if we need to replace anything.
Oh, wow, flag,
Yeah,
I'm gonna work on those when I come across. As far as people helping, well, the day we took them down, that particular day, I was the only one that showed up.
You didn't get the sheriff's department.
And then, no, and then Bob and then Dave and Kathy showed up out of Texas. We had 3 people. And Bob showed up, and they all showed up, so we had 5 people taking flags down. But we
Okay.
put 'em up. I think we only had 4 people doing that.
What happened to the sheriff's guy?
Well, they weren't able that day.
Okay. Well, I had surgery that day, so you can't out there, but.
So we really didn't have a big turnout of people up there. I'm kind of upset about it. They all knew about it. Can't say you don't know about it. Posted on the back porch, posted around buildings. If you look, it's put out at the meetings. So they know when to come, and then everybody says, well, I'll be there, and they don't show up. So it's like,
Well.
I'm kind of getting,
How about the Baptist church, they handle that okay?
I handle that. I got over the lady down there who was the janitor of the building.
Yeah.
And kind of where to put them, and we and the rest of them, they put them up.
Okay, so where are they
The
gonna
closet
keep it?
behind the church by the playground that they go in.
Oh, okay, so we can get in there without.
without having to go in the church
Good
building.
deal, okay, yeah.
Okay.
But as far as the flags, when they're missing, they brought a couple up to me, and I fixed them that same day, so.
Okay.
As they let me know about them, I'll fix them, replace them.
Yeah, and at the bank, we had a problem because the rebar got separated from the flags. They were in a whole different part of the bank.
Shouldn't have.
Yeah, those
It
guys
took us
put
a
up
while.
little Irish flags.
Yeah, they have 2 sets of flags.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they take our rebar and use it, and they'll put them back where we had.
So am I hearing you're a little
Yeah, I
disheartened?
was a little disheartened about the people that showed up.
Did you get over it?
Yeah, I'm over it.
Well, I'll talk to the sheriff's office this week, maybe not tomorrow, but I'll talk to them this week. I've got it in my notebook.
June 30th is a Friday, and the 5th after the 4th of July.
Yeah.
After Wednesday, it's a donut day.
30 June, huh?
I'll be there. Sure you are, over
30 June and 5 July?
here. Yeah, it's on board, and it's all the families.
Yeah.
Just read them every now and then. Yep, that's all I got.
On the Wednesday, you can get better help if we withhold the donuts until the flags are in.
Hey, you know, that's not a bad idea.
No donuts, so you can go off.
That's a great idea.
No, donut for you. Remember, you said that. This is your
It may not
idea.
always fall on a donut day.
Huh?
It may not always fall on a.
Well, this one it does.
This one does, yeah.
If it does, that's a good way to handle it. No donuts
All
for the
right.
flag run.
Unfinished business. Is there anything else on the gone but not forgotten garden?
We got some more stuff to do, but nothing that we need to discuss.
Okay.
The next group of money, I think, is gonna come from the from the county, from the garden park. not
Good.
From the veterans,
Good.
From the, you mean from the city?
from the city.
Yep.
Donation of flag holders to post 226. Bob and I,
No, we already did that.
huh?
No, we already did that.
We did. That's a,
Yeah.
oh, well,
Unfinished
it's
business.
finished now.
Yeah, Bob and I presented the medallions to Joe Thomas of the Legion, and he was going to disperse them at the last picnic. We have a couple of,
He sent me pictures because the first ones they did was, there's 3 graves for US colored troops from the Civil War at the Aaron Community Center.
Okay.
So they sent me pictures of, that they did those first.
wow. Okay, so that's cool. Certificate of appreciation for Liz.
I think when we said at the last meeting that we were gonna look into having the plaque made for her, and I don't know if anything else, if we got anything of
I
a
honestly-
price or,
I can't remember, to be honest with you.
I wasn't here last meeting.
So, why don't we just
continue that.
continue that one? We'll go to Sporties.
Sporties?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're behind Appleton Harley up in Clarksville on the
Oh,
bypass.
yeah.
He's a
Okay.
good guy. He's a
He
veteran.
is.
They do really good work.
All right.
And see what he'll charge. See, get him to do one and
Okay.
yeah. Post T-shirts.
I don't know where we were at on that.
Well, I see some of Kathy's in the back. Are they sufficient, or do you want,
I think that we brought that post T-shirt thing up before, when it was gonna be before Irish Day, and that we weren't able to get, it done before that, but she ordered them, so she got them. I think that's when we brought it up, because we were gonna have post T-shirts for us at Irish Day in March.
Okay.
And that's, we talked about that, but then Kathy
So
got.
those
some.
are the T-shirts?
Them are T-shirts that Kathy ordered and paid for, and
Oh.
then basically they say Houston County veteran on it. And so if you want to purchase one of them, she paid for them all, and we're just kind of paying her back as they go. But she was able to order them online, and she got them in like a few days, so she got them before the Irish Festival.
Yeah, because Jenna never-
They're $20 a piece, I
20
think.
piece?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had reached out to Jenna, Jenna Wright, and she never answered me back. I don't know, Mr. Allen maybe gave me a phone number for her or what.
I tried to stop by there and get a quote on some shirts, and I never heard back from them either. I don't know. Maybe they're out of the shirt business. I don't know.
Okay, so we'll just mark that one off and go with those and go on. Letter to VSO. I have talked to Tim. Guess I need to talk to the mayor. And we'll try and get some movement on that one.
I
Don't,
think we ought to send him a letter first.
okay,
If we send him a letter and it's mailed to him, not handed, then we can go see the mayor.
okay.
I think he ought to be here. Just,
Yes, sir?
Question for Mike.
Like,
VFW, was he there for the VFW?
yes,
Yeah.
yep.
So
he
what's
was.
this on two-way meeting?
He doesn't come to every single one of them, but he comes on and off, and when I spoke to him, the mayor told him that basically that he can go and, if he comes for an hour, they'll count on time and everything like that, but, he doesn't have to go, according to he doesn't have to go to all of them, but he can go to some of them, but that's up to, that's kind of what I heard. But he has been to the VFW meetings, and.
I know he's been to the
meetings
DAV
also.
meeting. So,
He was at
okay.
the last DAV meeting when you were there, right?
Yeah.
Last-
you
Yeah.
only stayed for a few minutes.
Yeah, he stays, I don't think he's been to a Legion meeting yet.
He's not a member of any of those organizations.
No.
No, doesn't have to be, but, like I guess he's technically, he doesn't, like, is he listed down as our veteran service officer for the group?
No.
Okay, so yeah, I guess he doesn't have to be, but it'll just help him if he does, so he has a chance to know.
No, actually, I'm the veteran service officer for both the Legion and DAV.
Okay,
Kathy's setting up training.
I'm the one for the VFW.
Okay? Okay, so
I'd like to get trained on that, would be good.
donation from Houston County Democratic Party.
Thought we already did that.
Yeah, well, this is under unfinished business.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I don't think anything yet. I mean, we voted on the,
Yeah, and it's at Bethesda, and whatever they donated is down at Bethesda. They're passing that out on an as needed basis.
Is that the box like the toiletry stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, we gave one to a veteran.
Going to a veteran.
Okay.
but the Houston County Democratic Party, I thought that we were talking about, having them make a donation to Signature Healthcare in our name.
We were at one time. That was
Oh.
one of the ideas that was
Oh, okay.
thrown around.
Oh,
So
so
they
that
donated
business,
to Bethesda Mission.
They donated it to the VSO, and we in turn sent it down there to Bethesda
okay,
to be passed out as needed. So,
I thought,
finished
I
business.
thought that was from the Democratic Party to help the veterans. I thought that probably should stay here and go from the VSO to veterans, because how do you know it's going to veterans at the Bethesda Mission?
Yeah,
I'm not saying that they're.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
saying-
I'm going on a 30-second phone call I had with
Okay.
Tim. So I don't have all the answers.
I know he gave us a
He had
box
the boxes in
to
there
give
already
somebody.
made up,
I think that's
and
what
he was
they're
asking
doing.
us to take them to veterans, so we took one over.
I thought, well, at one time, we gave them to Bethesda Missions Veterans, Signature Healthcare, because they have a dozen or so
Right.
veterans down
Right,
there.
and that was my original thought, but
And DAV does something every year for them, I think.
yeah. I'll talk to Tim and flesh that out a little bit better. The advertisement on the race car, I did find out it's $250. So,
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah, that's more than I thought.
yeah, mine too.
Put their name on the race car.
Okay, that's a, well, see, the race car was it was a Legion project. And there's about a half a dozen, 8 or 10 different posts that support this race car. And your post number, post 73, goes on the door frame. It races up in Nashville, and, but we just don't have the money.
No.
Right now.
It seems like, yeah, it seems like an awful lot for an advertisement like that.
Yeah.
If they can guarantee us 5 new members, maybe we can do it.
Jim Bray Racing, I don't know. You can Google them and go for it. Veterans Picnic for June. I was talking with Kathy and, well, let me rephrase that. Let me back up. A week ago tomorrow, Kathy, Jeremy, myself, and Tim had a phone call. Well, I couldn't make it, but had a meeting. We talked about those meetings, the picnics going quarterly, because the last couple of 3 haven't been that well attended. Whether, it's summertime and people are out doing whatever, or, whatever the case is, maybe they're just getting tired of them. But we thought about doing them quarterly. Kathy brought up doing a breakfast on probably a Wednesday next in August, I think.
Yeah.
And she's talking about somebody from the VA coming in and talking, and we'll do pancakes and God knows what.
This is instead of donuts.
Huh?
Instead of donuts.
Instead of donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In addition to donuts.
And what do you, for a Wednesday?
Yeah.
That was the last she and I talked about. Now, she may have changed her mind since then, I don't know.
She wasn't set on the date yet. She wanted to see what you guys were doing since this was your month. She didn't want to step on anybody's toes, she said, so she was going to find out first what was going on.
Yeah, we're just gonna, it costs more to have the picnic and not as many show up as have been showing up. I mean, it's a losing proposition. And, if we go to every quarter,
We had a huge one last time, remember?
you did, and I was extremely,
They didn't have any free chairs.
They did some signs up and down Main Street, which I
Lots of,
think helped a lot with that.
lots of, advertising.
DAV you talking about?
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
a huge turnout. We had ran out of chairs. They were all sitting over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Last VFW, we did pretty well, I think, so.
so,
The only thing about doing it quarterly is you're only gonna get maybe 1 to 2 in the summertime, you know, the way that is, but if that's what people vote on, then we're good with that.
you know, I think that's probably the best way to go. Maybe this year, do it quarterly, next year we go back to monthly, I don't, you know,
See how it goes.
see how it goes.
Maybe we can do something, like they said, instead of doing a picnic, do like the DAV was talking about, doing a pancake breakfast or,
I like
you
that.
know, something to get some people out here.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
to try to get some type of visibility. And I wasn't here on the last one, but did anybody that was here, did we have anybody show up that looked new, like new people? Or
Oh,
was it
yeah.
all the same people? The DAV one, I was
And the
here.
folks that were sitting on the couch,
It
I've never
was
seen
huge.
them.
Yeah, I didn't see them either. The lady
So
with
that's-
the black hat, yeah.
The way I look at it, I know that it's $200 here and there, but we're here to kind of spread the word and to help veterans, you know,
Yeah,
with each other. And if we have 4 or 5 people that show up that are new, I think that's a win. You know, at least they,
Well, I
at least
agree
they
with
know
that.
that they're here, and but it is a $200 to $300 expense every time we do it, and we really don't get the money back on it. So-
right.
So we're looking at doing the next quarterly one? Did you guys come up, when you guys had your thing, did you guys come up with a date or
No, we did not. We were still in the discussion phase.
Let me throw something else out. What would you say about a veterans picnic? And we'll have representatives from all 3 organizations here. The veterans operation.
Kathy was thinking about bringing out people, but she brought out a whole bunch of people
Yeah.
last year that filled this, and only 3 people showed up.
Yeah. The last,
And
what was
she-
that called? That was the
That was
veterans.
the veterans information, thing she opened up. It was everywhere in here, and there was only 3 people that showed up. So we were talking that maybe we should just narrow it down, like pick 2 topics and have 2 guest speakers come in about those topics. So we
That's
can
a real
have-
good idea.
Yeah, instead of having so many people here.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So, okay, so Kathy and I and Jeremy will get together again but we're not gonna have a veterans picnic in June.
Okay.
We'll figure out something else. New business, Herb?
In the VFW, and we've also started this in the Sons of American Revolution, we have a, for the good of the order.
Right?
The reason I mention that is we lost one of our vets who was an American Legion member, Bobby Mitchell, and some of us may not even know Bobby. Ben Hagler is circling the drain, I think. I talked to him, invited him to come different places, and he's just about to give up. But for the good of the order, my point is, we ought to have a section in our agenda for the good of the order, where we mention veterans who have a specific problem. or
Agreed.
that we need to pray for. Just as a way to keep track of who we're missing,
Okay.
so. that's
You add
just
that
my
to the new
point.
business?
If we just add to for the good of the order and leave it at that, or for the good of the Legion or whatever.
You know what the DAV did just recently, all 4 of us, we found out who was been DAV members for a long time, and we picked 4 of the top ones, and we spent the whole day, we drove around,
That's
went and
good.
visited with them, talked to them.
Oh, that's
met the
great.
Guy, and we just sit there and talk story, and the last guy we went to, he was like, he goes, you and you and you, and he's pointing to all of us, and he was like, you make my day.
Yeah,
Somebody came to visit.
that's
me.
great.
60
That's
years.
great.
60
DAV
years
member.
of DAV members, so what we did is we went through the list to find because there's 90 members, but only a few of us show up.
Yeah.
So we decided to go to them and give them a award.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I do.
That's a good idea.
Real good idea.
So we'll just have at our next agenda, we'll have for the good of the Legion. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything in the bulletin worth mentioning?
I've got a convention coming up. Well, I just had it.
Is that envelope?
Yeah. It just came in the mail today.
I did not get one.
Probably tomorrow.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
When is the convention?
In, June 17th and 18th, in Murfreesboro. So, I'm gonna be at it, and I heard Kathy and David, I think, Freed are gonna be at it.
Okay.
There's an employment opportunity for assistant adjutant at the State Department.
Bob!
Yeah, that's a paying job, I guess, anyway.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, there you go.
And,
But you gotta drive all the way up there. You ain't nowhere
Yeah.
remote work from home.
yeah. Post officer elections,
When are they?
post officer elections.
Should be coming soon.
I don't know, doesn't say. It just says, the bylaws allow, you need to use non-traditional methods. That's all it says.
Well, we oughta, because we've already done the DAV
And the VFW.
and VFW.
So the Legion should be coming soon.
I'm thinking it should have been this month.
Mhm.
Yeah, it should have been this month. What do you say we go ahead and have the officer election this month, right now?
Oh, okay. Is it, okay. I was wondering what this is, post with uncertified post officers, and we're listed on here. Is
Oh,
that
we are.
because I didn't go to any classes or what?
Let me see this.
Can we hold the election tonight, or do we have to let people know?
Well, we're not gonna get any more next month.
No.
Yeah, it's about as good as it gets. I just didn't know what it meant about
Please do
certified
not
officers.
modify certification form. And you've got the form?
You're talking about this,
Yeah.
right? That's not, it's due like June 12th, I think, so.
Well, we don't have any choice. So we're having, yeah,
The next meeting will be July.
so if it's due in June,
You gotta do it tonight.
we gotta do it tonight.
Okay.
Next meeting is July 3rd.
So, all positions are open. Does anybody want to nominate anybody for any position?
Go down the list.
I terminate my position.
Huh?
I terminate mine.
Which one are you? No, you cannot.
Yes, I can.
You cannot. We have commander, vice commander, adjutant, financial officer, those are the 4 that have to be elected.
Well, if everybody's ready, willing to serve, I just say we elect everybody to acclimate.
I will serve if need be, but I'm okay with someone else doing it. But if not, I'll keep it.
And you're
Okay.
the new finance officer?
Yeah, we're like a hot potato.
You serve as an adjutant?
Yep, I'm happy to.
Come on, Jeffrey. Huh?
Was he senior?
He was,
vice-
he was,
senior
he
vice-
was vice commander. And that is one of those positions we gotta have. Now, how many times did Jeffrey fill in for me in the last 12 months? Twice. It don't happen often. I was in the hospital.
Bill Ressler, vice commander.
Huh?
Bill Ressler is vice commander.
Yeah, there you go. When you-
Yes,
Bill's like,
accepted.
You can have
Ladies?
that page, Bill.
Vice commander,
Yeah. You just fill in when Glenn's not here.
Yeah, there you go.
as long as you're not trying to make me commander someday, that's fine.
No, this is my 10th year, so. Okay. So, commander, vice commander is Bill, adjutant is Bob, financial officer is Mike,
So you vice commander
vice commander is Bill.
or junior vice? No junior vice?
No.
Good.
And then I will take the post-service officer as well.
I think chaplain is a position too, is not? Usually is.
It can be, but, cause we got room for other. But it's not one of those positions
Okay.
listed. But, and Herb is chaplain. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? Ayes have it. So we'll fill this out before we go.
Okay.
Memorial to departed veterans of the community. Herb?
Okay, I think I've got this right, but I've got 2 new ones.
Those of you able, please stand.
The first one that I have is P.J. Gooden, U.S. Army. P.J. passed away on 1st of June, 2023. Then I have Ken Baggett, passed away on Friday, the 2nd of June. What service was Ken in? Does anyone know?
Army.
Army, okay. And then I have Kenneth Ray, and I don't have a date that he passed away. I don't know what service he was in. But you all went to a service for him, right?
Yes.
Kenneth Ray? It must have been,
I don't know.
that's all right, my wife can find that, but Kenneth Ray. And then we have one that's passed away that we haven't had a service for yet. I believe that would be Benny Elliott.
That is correct.
Would it ring for him too? That's well.
You had another one that passed away, but his family took him to the cemetery and buried him.
Who was that?
Jackie White.
Okay.
Jackie Wyatt, W-Y-A-E-T-T.
I guess, I don't know.
Okay, I'll have to look that one up. If y'all know of any of these, please let me know, because that's where we generate the list that we do on Veterans Day. We ring the bell for each veteran that's passed. We call them by name and ring the bell. So can we have a moment of silence, please? Thank you.
Please be seated.
You know what service, Jackie?
All right, we are down to
Well,
pass the hat.
They just took him out there.
Oh, they took that cremated.
Flag Day is the 14th. We'll be putting out flags.
Like Donald.
Tomorrow I'll send a text message to the Honor Guard to present themselves for Flag Day. 1800 at the Veterans Park up at the Ridge.
What was that?
We need to make another trip to the crematorium too, as long as we're on that subject. We need to rip a whole lot of these pieces of wood off.
Okay. Well, maybe it's something that we can sit around doing Wednesday morning.
Sounds like a plan.
For those of you who don't know, Nave Funeral Home incinerates the flags for us. We find one that is less dangerous than the rest of them to have the ceremony, but with the chemicals and all, they just put them in the incinerator and lock, stock, and barrel for us. So if you see anybody from Nave's, thank them for their support. All right, next meal idea.
They also keep those flags back until they bury a veteran or cremate a veteran, and that's when they put the flags in. It's with the veteran too. I didn't know that. But,
I didn't,
what's the manager's name there?
Dustin?
Yes, Dustin told me about that. Oh, Dustin.
Okay. Next meal idea?
Any meal ideas for next meeting? So we're talking June? July.
July.
July
the
3rd. That sounds like a barbecue.
That sounds like a good
July
one.
4th.
Yeah,
Let's do hot dog hamburgers.
Yeah.
sounds good.
Barbecue.
All right.
And we got plenty of brats too, if anybody wants
Yeah.
one,
Oh, I
right?
know.
Yeah, we got lots of brats back there for the VFW too, it's frozen.
Those are good.
Okay,
So we'll do hot dogs, hamburgers, and brats.
okay.
Did you get enough money to pay the pizza tonight, or do you need more?
I had that left from the last couple of meetings, that there was
Okay,
always a
so
little
that goes,
extra.
that's extra.
Yeah,
All right, I'll.
You want
count it up and
that?
add it. Thank you. So,
what?
hot dogs, hamburgers, and all the fixings next meeting?
Yeah.
Brats and
Sounds
stuff.
good.
Sounds good.
Okay. I think I'm going to the commissary so I can get potato salad or macaroni salad or something
Okay,
on top of that.
okay. Well, we'll figure I'll set a reminder, we'll talk a couple days prior to, like, probably one of the donut days.
Yeah.
And then we'll figure out who's gonna go up there to get the hamburgers and stuff. We probably don't need, but one package or something like that, because the amount of people that show up. But
Probably true. Okay, something I've been working on, and I want to see what everybody else felt, because I've talked to Kathy, I've talked to Jeremy. There are only 4 members of the Honor Guard that show up with any great regularity. Kathy's usually out of town, and David is working, and that still leaves us a man short, even when Charlie comes down. So what I would like to do is open the Honor Guard up to the DAV and the VFW for them to participate as well. I would like, Kathy said just a white shirt and black pants, but the caps represent, not the ball caps, but the formal caps, to represent the VFW or DAV.
Right.
And then we would be known as the Houston County Honor Guard, not the American Legion Honor Guard, or Houston County Veterans Honor Guard, or something to that effect. It has also been suggested with PJ's service yesterday, there might be a cop or two that is interested in performing with us. And I have not talked to the sheriff or the chief,
Who's this?
police officer veteran or just a police officer?
just police officers. although we do have a couple of police officer veterans. But like PJ was an alderman in addition to a veteran. So, what do y'all think about opening it up to the other veterans organizations?
I think that's a great idea.
I did.
And B, what do y'all think about the cops participating for certain individuals?
I think you're gonna offend somebody if you do that.
Is what?
I think that-
Police officer.
I think that should be kind of last resort.
If it's a police officer,
If we
they
have
would-
enough veterans, if it's gonna be the Houston County veterans,
I don't disagree with that. I'm throwing ideas out here, guys. I'm just spitballing.
If it's a police officer, I think that would be all right.
Okay.
Just-
Who are you calling certain individuals?
But otherwise, I don't.
Well, we had, PJ was an alderman.
If he's a veteran, he falls right in that category.
Well, he
We did
would.
for him, yeah, he was a veteran.
And we did perform his ceremony.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, as an alderman, maybe one of the cops wanted to be there as well.
That would go into what I see.
Yeah. So, okay. So I'll just talk to Kathy and Jeremy and we'll leave it at that. But if they want to get the full uniform, that's fine. If they want to stick with the white shirt and the black pants, as long as they got their appropriate DAV VFW hat, then I think that'll be good to go. I've got to work out with Jeremy. We've got the rounds. We've got enough. I ordered like 12,000 blanks. I got 4 ammo cans at the house. God help me if I ever catch fire, and that's just the blanks.
We have a couple of new members too that we hadn't invited yet to participate in the honor guard.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
there's these back after.
But you know, if you want to, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. But I'll talk to Kathy and Jeremy. We'll get the rifle sorted out situation. We'll have a couple of practices because I don't know if anybody in here is a NASCAR fan, but something I've been talking about for a long time, and we saw it Monday last week when they did the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte. And the honor guard fired, but they fired from the hip. Ready, fire. Ready, fire. It looked sharp. We got some older guys, and getting them to the shoulder is not always an option. So I want to see about that.
Well, I've also seen the kind of the halfway. It's not all the way on the shoulder,
Right.
but it's down. It's not as far as the hip.
So
but
we-
it's a part way. I've seen that.
Underneath their arms.
Yeah. Well, so we got a lot of options, but first off, we got to find the people. So,
I look at it, it'll be up to the commander.
huh?
I think it'll be up to the commander.
I agree with that.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. Either way.
That's what I feel about it. If you got old folks on there, older folks,
Yeah.
I have trouble too, but.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're heavy.
Huh?
I heard they're heavy.
M1 Duran's with
I believe it
a
all up to you.
blank adapter, they are.
Yeah. Practice it, see which way goes best.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna talk to Kathy and Jeremy, and we're gonna have, and for the record, the conversation that Kathy, Jeremy, Tim and I had, we're gonna do, we're establishing what will come out of it will be a building committee. We were talking about this building, we were talking about that one. A representative of each of the services, of the organizations. Running through Tim, you got, Tim asked for $1,500 this month, this time for the county commission for improvement and repairs. You've got to get a PO before you can get like ceiling fans. But I don't think that's going to be a major issue. But we're gonna sit down, roundtable it at least every quarter, and talk about things that come up and whatnot. So I think we're finally putting some teeth into organizations and doing things collectively is a big thing for us. If I can get the other Legion Post 226 to send a representative every once in a while, then, you know, that's icing on the cake.
You
So
said this building and that one?
they're talking about the armory next door. The state of Tennessee, as of 2 weeks ago, they still had the armory still had stuff in there. Not a lot, but it was enough. The state of Tennessee has to officially decline that building before it's turned back over to the county. The three organizations here, the senior citizens folks, the Meals on Wheels, and a couple others, have been talked about as potential going up there. And if you've never been up to the other building, up there, there's office space, there's a huge work area or area. I mean, it's as big as this is put together without the stage. I mean, there's a lot of room to do a lot of
They
good.
leave behind a cannon or a tank or anything, do we put it out front?
I could request it.
It would be nice. A lot of Legion
He
posts
wants
have.
some yard art.
Huh?
Get some yard art out there.
Yeah, I can request
I
one.
thought the county mayor had in mind Bethesda Mission and
Yeah.
Senior Center to take that thing over.
Well, there are two of the entities are going up there, but there's more room than that.
Yeah, I thought.
And
thought-
I mean, Bethesda that's the first time I've heard of it.
Oh, yeah, I talked to Joey, and that was the primary one, because they have a tremendous walk-in freezer and reefer there.
Yeah, yeah,
And a huge kitchen, and that'd be perfect for Bethesda Mission,
yeah,
and the senior center.
yeah, the senior and Meal and Wheels. So anyway, there's a lot, there's a lot going on. But we're just getting started. The trip I made a couple of months ago to the West Tennessee Veterans Coalition, I'll be honest with you folks, I couldn't figure out what they did. Besides walk the parade and hand out patches. And that's not what we're about. That's not what we want. Although I made some good contacts over there, if we need a ramp built or something like that, so be it. But I don't see a need for anything. I don't see a need for us to join them or them coming up here or anything else. I couldn't figure out what they did, and just kind of disappointing to me. That's all I got. Does anybody have anything I didn't bring up or brought up too much or forgot?
I got something that has nothing to do with American Legion. If you're a gearhead, I have a Knipex
A what?
wrench.
Oh, that's cool.
They are really, it's a Knipex, it's a German company, but you can grab anything from 0 to an inch and put an awful lot of pressure onto these little things.
Well, I'm doing
So
good.
it's
I
metric.
just saw it pass around, y'all can look at it. I've got 3 of them so far. I got one in each of my little
The
toolkits.
next meeting, with Monday being the 3rd, the holiday is the 4th, correct? So we're still having our meeting July 3rd?
Correct.
Okay.
Ah,
You can put the pressure on that top lever and it'll lock in place. You only have to push down on it.
ooh-wee.
They're a neat little tool.
Made in Germany. That is neat. Afraid to stick my finger in that one. To answer your question, yes. Anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Pretty cool. Herb may not get that one back by
Buried
the time it
somebody
goes
at
around.
Hegler Cemetery, it was an ex-police officer. And the police department took a big hand in it. That was years ago,
Hagler Cemetery?
Hegler Cemetery.
That's before my time.
It was, I'm the old man here.
Yeah, you are.
This is neat.
It is really, German company too, they really make quality stuff.
What's the name of it?
Well, when it is a cop or a former, I'll talk to him.
Former police officer.
I'll talk to him about that.
He He lived in Tennessee Ridge on Stewart, Harrington.
Who was that, Billy?
He was a former police officer, and we buried him in the Hegler Cemetery, and the police officers took a big hand in the funeral.
I know
Escorted
they-
him up there and everything. They took,
I remember when Al Gillespie died, same thing, remember Al? He was a reserve cop. Really huge police funeral for Al. He was also a veteran.
Okay,
So the food fund has $122 in it.
cool. Anybody got anything else? Motion to adjourn? Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. And the ayes have it. Meeting adjourned.
This is pretty neat.
They really are.
What's the name of the company?
Hippex, they make quite a few different tools, mostly industrial tools.
I didn't, one of the things I forgot to mention, the